Oh man.
So we are
Go
not going
ahead,
to talk
man.
about what these. I think that I can now. I think that it's official for me that Cameron and Mace are my two favorite podcasters. Um, you know, these guys are hilarious, right? So we talked about Marcus Jordan and Larsa Pippen, I think once on this channel before,
Yeah.
and we kind of dissected through some of the aspects of how weird that situation happened because there's certain things to peel back with respect to modern relationships, right? That's why we talk about these topics on this channel, not necessarily to do gossip talk.
Correct.
And apparently they've broken up. Shocker. So Larsa Pippen, Marcus Jordan, they are no longer together. And Cameron and Mace has some opinions on that. Apparently, Larsa Pippen posted on Instagram in lieu of the breakup about finding the right man, and this just didn't go over well with these guys. Um, this is just another notch on the dysfunctional belt that Larsa Pippen wears, and I guess will continue to wear forever and ever and ever. So we'll go ahead and talk about it first. This says Mason Cameron rip into Larsa Pippen over Marcus Jordan split. You got no future in Chicago. Um, Cameron and Mace spared no words for Larsa Pippen on a recent edition of It Is What It Is, following this week's news that Pippen and Marcus Jordan broke up after 1 year of dating. After the couple split, Pippen shared a post on Instagram alluding to the breakup. The man you choose to be your partner affects everything in your life, your mental health, your peace of mind, your love inside you, your happiness, how you get through tragedies, your successes, how your children will be raised, and much more. Choose wisely. The 49-year-old wrote on her Instagram stories. That is, of course, Larsa Pippen. But what we are going to do is play this clip in which Cameron and Mace expounds upon this for themselves. So here we go.
And then before we end, it seems like Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan have called it quits after a year of dating. They both unfollowed each other and wiped pictures of each other off of their social medias. And then Larsa posted a little quote on her story. She said, "The man you choose to be your partner affects everything in your life, your mental health, your peace of mind, your love inside you, your happiness, how you get through tragedies, your successes, how your children will be raised, and much more. Choose wisely."
What? How dare she have any rebuttal for taking a man 16 years younger than you and act like he's the problem? You're the adult. What are you talking about? I'm definitely not the one should be talking about this because I'm super insensitive on this topic. Just thinking about this, I don't even need my notes for it. How you ain't you Scotty's ex-wife? Now you mad with Scott, the Pippins and the Jordans?
Right.
You got no future in Chicago. I hope you know that. You mad with Batman and Robin, and now baby Batman? What's going on, Larsa? Oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing, and allegedly is this kind of behavior that could make it troublesome even for your son playing basketball. So you heard a lot of things with your behavior. We don't know what Scotty did. We're not letting Scotty off the hook. You got Scotty walking around here looking like the future with dreads and black Nike Airs. I don't know what's in your box, but listen, we're praying for the Pippins. We're praying for the Jordans. Cam, you say something about this because I take him off the gram. How dare you erase his pictures? That's the only reason we're talking about this. And I know Jordan is sitting somewhere like, yeah. Tried to told you. I tried to told you.
It's crazy.
What was she thinking? What was you thinking anyway, dating him? Your kids grew up with this boy. Your kids grew up with this boy. Somebody got to tell people the truth. You were already in violation, talking about affecting your mental health. You took you were taking, my opinion is you were taking advantage of this. You were taking advantage of him. You already took Scotty's pension. I'm gonna go before I say more, because I really don't like this situation. And then going to delete all his pictures like he's the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Your mental health.
My mental health. And should your friends follow your ex? All this kind of behavior. Larsa, you're not 21. You're not Lori Harvey. You got to stop this. Somebody got to tell you the truth. You're not Lori Harvey. My goodness. And for all of the Pippins, I know that's your mom's. Listen, but sometimes we find out about our parents and we don't like what we find out. I found out things about my parents I may not like, but they're still my parents. Stop embarrassing your children, allegedly.
Sound like me today, man. I only got 5 words to say, man. So the people, not even the people. Don't be the next sucker.
It's lollipop season. Pause.
They'll find another one.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say is
her mental health.
You young niggas, she praying on y'all. Don't be the next sucker. Period. It's that file for don't be the next t-shirt.
Sucker. Yeah. I need that on my hoodie.
Yeah.
Don't be the next sucker.
Period. Paul.
Oh, wow. Don't be the next sucker, man. You know, go ahead. What do you got to say about that, man?
I heard nothing but facts. I heard nothing but facts being spoken there. This man must really be a preacher. He was up there spitting the gospel, reading straight from the book of thought on her ass, explaining to her how out of pocket she really is. Listen, she doesn't have a leg to stand on. The only people that believe her and her shenanigans are the people that watched and follow her on Kardashians and other things. You know, her fangirls, the ones that go, I knew Marcus was a scumbag. And it's like, really? Marcus is the scumbag here? So this is what Mase, the only thing he was doing was putting all of this stuff in perspective, just so all the viewers at home, if they weren't aware, could see this from a point of view that makes her look ridiculous and her statement look ridiculous. Yeah, unfollowing people. If this is not a publicity stunt, it probably is. It probably is. One last thing, I'll let you go. I forgot who I was watching. I was watching somebody interview, and it was kind of, you know, exposing what people be doing in the industry when it comes to the paparazzi. And they mentioned that they call the paparazzi. They say, hey, I'm about to be over there. You know what I'm saying? We going to the Red Lobster on 47th. You know, and it's like, okay, bet, you know, and they pull up. Oh, and that's what they were saying. They said, oh no, hey, we're gonna be at the beach. You know, we're gonna be at the beach. Woo. And then, you know, all of a sudden you see Ben Affleck on the beach. You know, and you know, it's like he called them. And so one thing that I realized by looking at these two, they're always behind something. You know, in this image here, there's Bravo behind them. There's other things behind it. They show up to these things and be places. And one thing that I believe that existed before influencers became a coined term were influencers, people like her, people who are just paid bots to go out there, wear Chanel, post it online, you know, wear Fashion Nova, post it online, you know, just do all of that stuff, or just wear it on TV shows or what have you. And this is who she is. Her whole thing is about being in the tabloids, period. And what Marcus is doing is he's going along for the ride again to make a name for himself outside of his daddy, that he on some other type of new world reality TV show house husband thing. So I think all of this is shenanigans. Honestly, I would not be surprised if they're back together and then get married or some whoop de whoop. Because her deleting her stuff, it is childish. And if all of this stuff is actually going on and she's really conducting herself like this, posting that goofy stuff online, Mase was 1000% correct, laying into her. So, what are your thoughts, sir, on Miss Larsa Pippen trying to be a Larson Pippen Jordan? My goodness.
You know, people who watch our channel who pay attention, they might ask from time to time, why do you guys talk about stuff like this? You know, not necessarily in any of our comments for any of the videos that have gotten comments, but like off camera, I've gotten the question, like, why talk about dumb stuff like Larsa Pippen? Like, who cares? Who is she? Why do y'all talk about this? And my response to those inquiries is pretty much the same all the time, which is I choose to talk about this stuff on this channel because I think understanding how and why situations like these play out can give us a window with which to understand why modern relationships are so jacked up. And if we can gain a better understanding of that, then perhaps we can gain a better understanding of how to course correct it, how to fix it. That's the reason why I talk about this stuff, because I believe in something that is called the trickle-down effect. I believe that the trickle-down effect is a real thing. You may think that this is just two people in reality TV, weirdo Hollywood world, you know, prancing around, acting like an ass. But you'd best believe that over time, the more pervasive these types of situations and forms of content become, the more that they show up in your feeds, the more that they show up in your timelines, the more that they show up on your stories, the more desensitized you are going to become to the idea that behavior like this is abnormal. And you'll just start to view it as an everyday thing. So the reason why Larsa Pippen is even a thing is because her behavior has become so normalized to the point where she can be 49 years old and in her mind she does actually think she's Lori Harvey.
I know.
And yeah, like you can't tell her she's any different than Lori Harvey. In her mind, she's in the same boat. In her mind, I guarantee you, she feels as though she's in the same category as Lori Harvey. And it's because of this culture that we have allowed to persist, in which we have inflated the relative worth of the physical attributes and the box of these women to the point where they feel as though they can operate with impunity. And when you have enough people, women in particular, who feel as though they can operate with impunity, it is going to impress upon future generations and everyone else in the world that if they're a woman, they too can operate with impunity. And do you know what throws off the balance of any kind of successful relationship? When one person feels as though they can operate with impunity. When you have a bunch of people walking around saying, I can do whatever I want, free of consequences and repercussions, it really doesn't lend itself to a functional way that we can go about creating relationships.
Correct.
That's when things become, as you like to say, completely transactional, which is the world that we are currently looking at, where women are basically saying, what I bring to the table is the transaction of me being with you. How much are you willing to pay for this?
I can't
Now
believe
you may think, and when I say you, I don't mean you specifically, I mean other people out there in the world. Y'all may think that this is not a big deal. Trust me, there is a trickle down effect that is occurring right before our very eyes. And what we are seeing is everyday people walking around in the streets adopting these kinds of toxic behaviors.
Yes.
And they take that shit with them into their regular lives.
Yes.
The more you see people like Larsa Pippen doing dumb shit like this, despite all of the evidence to the contrary, you would assume that she should act like she's 49, like she has 3 children. None of that seems to matter anymore. No rules. We are in a free market and archaic society. Do whatever you want. No one cares. Do whatever. So, you know, you've got men and women all over the place complaining about dating, right? Some people can do it successfully. Congratulations to you. I applaud you. But there is a huge swath of the population both men and women, I would say that it's more men who struggle, but I'm not going to exclude women entirely. So I'll include them into this, even though I do think that it's more men who are struggling with this than not.
Mhm.
But you've got a huge swath of people trying to figure this thing out. Why is it that I'm dealing with this? Why is it that despite what I got going on, I am experiencing these difficulties? Why am I experiencing the unreasonable resistance? Why am I experiencing women doing what they do, paying me, patronizing me in such a way that doesn't afford me with the opportunity to be able to actually successfully date? But I'm seemingly striking out despite the fact that it seems as though I shouldn't be. What is going on? Somebody give me answers. I'm not understanding this. And what a lot of us do is we go to Kevin Samuels, or we go, God rest his soul, or we go to, some of these other dating and relationship podcasts seeking out answers. And all these shows do is further exacerbate our myopathy, because all they do is bring on Larsa Pippen like women onto their show to reinforce our hopelessness. And do you know why they bring on so many Larsa Pippen like women to their shows, reinforcing our hopelessness? Because there's actually more people like this walking around in the streets in everyday life than we care to realize. So that's the reason why we broach this stuff on this channel. It isn't because we want to talk Marcus Jordan and Larsa Pippen necessarily. It's because there is a trickle-down effect taking place with this stuff. This isn't it's a real thing. It's not a niche part of the world anymore. Like, it's out there. So you out here in your mid-20s, late 20s, and your 30s, and you're trying to navigate this dating world, man or woman, and you're experiencing difficulty, don't think that stuff like this is completely non-consequential. It plays a role. It plays a role. The more normalized something becomes, the more prevalent it is. How that prevalence affects you depends on your perspective, but I think it affects more people than we know. So that's why we talk about this on this channel. To that end, I 100% agree with everything Mase had to say. He's right on the money, but to me, it's bigger than Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan. And it really is, to me, a larger societal observation. This is a microcosm of some of the craziness that's going on out here in the world, where relationships have become, as you like to say, completely and utterly transactional, even for everyday quote unquote average people, not just in celebrity world, because it's trickled down to the rest of the population. I believe that. That is my personal belief. And I have enough anecdotal evidence from some of my own friends who I talk to on a regular basis who are still going through this, some of our private conversations. This is something that is more prevalent than some of us may care to realize. And so that's why it becomes rather necessary, if not otherwise fun, to just talk about on this channel. And, come on, man. How can she do this and feel like she's in the right, given her history? Okay, she was married for as long as she was married, and then ever since then, she's been bouncing around. She clearly does think she's Lori Harvey.
She
Malik
does.
Beasley, Future, not his kid. She's preying on these people. She has a track record for this stuff, and she's going to continue to do it because she feels like she can, because no one will check her on that. And if no one's going to check her, they're not going to check the legions of other women who do what she does. Then these other women who glean this content and this behavior on a regular basis are also going to feel as though they can continue to operate completely unchecked.
Yep.
So that's what you can take away from crap like this. So, I say men need to man up and understand how to put women like this in their place and not bend the knee to whatever they want just because they have a cute face and a nice body, albeit surgically augmented. But until then, the only thing that people like us can do is talk about it on this channel and hope that we can affect the minds and ears and hearts of some of the people who may catch wind of the video.
And I would say that I think the word of the decade right now is accountability. And I think there's a lot of men online, either they're, neutral, extremely red pill, or in between. I think one thing that all people can agree on right now is the accountability epidemic, that nobody wants to really do it. And it seems to be even more pervasive in this new wave of thinking like you're on a reality TV show. And why would one think that they're on a reality TV show? Well, they watch one too many episodes. So everything is high drama. Everything is me, I. And this woman here, Miss Pippen, is no different. So if she gets on her Instagram or her X platforms or what have you, and immediately start screaming out that she's the victim here, at this point, you understand that these people who have a doctrine of not being accountable are the people that we need to be mindful of and avoid. Those people will eventually rub you the wrong way and then not take accountability and then off to the next person. So this woman has a track record that everybody has seen. She thinks she bad, but honestly, bruh, anything with a hole gonna get penetrated. And so she thinks she bad just because she's got multiple holes that she's willing to use. Sorry, Miss Ma'am, you still ain't Miss Harvey. And not that Miss Harvey is the pinnacle, but geez, you're not even that. So my whole thing is that Mase was on fire. I agree with him, man. Yeah, man, fall back. These guys have seen women like this in their industry, so they know exactly where she's coming from. And so for a dude to be a sucker, like Cam said, you know what I'm saying? You gotta call him what it is. And he's too grown to be playing a fool. So so he need to kick rock. And hopefully this is not a publicity stunt. Hopefully they really are broken up for his sake and Mr. Mike's sake. But if he want to be a fool, let him be a fool. And let everybody take lessons from his case study.
Yeah, I think men across the board are just looking weak nowadays, and it sucks because these weak men do an extraordinary injustice to the many strong men out there who do stand on principle. And I'm tired of giving these guys excuses. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I'm not giving Malik Beasley an excuse because he's 25, 26. No, bro. Stop simping out. Man up, bro. Get you a chick who does not have nearly as much toxic history, who looks better than her, who is not going to sully your name the way she does. These guys need to do better, bro. Seriously. I'm for real, man. Like, men are out here looking real bad in relation to in relation to women. Like, our propensity for being slaves to vagina is more intense now than it ever has been. Like, the world is this kid's oyster. He's the son of the greatest basketball player of all time. And you opt into this situation with her. I don't give a shit if it's publicity or not. The symbolism behind it is damaging in and of itself.
Yes, it is. Agreed.
So I'm tired. The excuses have got to stop with these dudes. I'm tired of it. The next NBA player who gets an Instagram model pregnant, I'm calling all these guys out because the buck has to stop somewhere. It has to stop. It does. I'm tired of this shit because you're ruining this for men everywhere. Now all women are doing walking around out here is looking at dude as the next sucker who is a slave to what's between their legs. So just, you know, we've got to do better about this stuff. I'm not giving these dudes a pass. I don't care how old they are. I don't give a shit if you're 22. I don't care. I'm not giving these guys passes anymore because these women are out here winning. I'm not trying to make it adversarial like it's a battle of good and evil, but it is, though, if you consider the ideology and the implication behind some of these behaviors and decisions.
I agree. Yeah.
So, you know, we got to do better about this stuff, man. But I'm calling these guys out. This shit has got to stop. It does. Y'all NBA players and NFL players, you make men look bad. And if we want to get real specific with it, you make black men look bad. Stop getting with these Instagram models. Stop getting with these chicks who do adult films. Stop getting these strippers pregnant. Have a principle that you stand on. It's bigger than you, even though you don't realize it. This stuff is actually bigger than you as an individual. Stop looking at the world through your narcissistic lens. This stuff is bigger than you. And it's doing a lot of damage out here. It really is. But I'm done. I can go on with this stuff, but I got nothing else to say.
No, hey, well said, man. Hey, Marcus, I don't know what to tell you, but dog, you know what I'm saying? Stay safe.
You coming behind an NBA player in Future of all people, and your father is the greatest basketball player of all time, who probably rolled
Money,
around in the
man.
street, who was in the streets, but was definitely more principled with the way he goes about his business. And at the end of the day, look at the women who he married. Those women aren't in the streets.
Lame, bro. Lame.
Oh my God.